take a look at these creatures. These are elephants. Well, at least that's how medieval European artists imagined them. One looks like a spotted horse, another has antlers like a deer, and the third one, dramatic pause, looks like it was drawn after a long, wild night at the local tavern. Calm, explanatory tone. Back in those days, artists knew that elephants existed. They'd heard the stories, but to actually see one in the flesh, that was like trying to visit Mars today. All the information they had came through a centuries-old game of telephone, tales told by travelers who were lowering-pitch conspiratorial, either terrified, exaggerating, or just plain drunk. Normal tone. Today, we're going to dive into how medieval imagination turned a majestic animal into a mythical monster, and why these bizarre drawings aren't just mistakes, they're a window into how people saw a world they could never reach. Dreamy, setting the scene. Imagine you're living in Paris or London around 1300. Your entire world is basically your village and the next one over. And then some traveling merchant rolls into town, downing ale, swearing on his life that he saw a beast as tall as a castle, with a nose that could rip trees right out of the ground, and teeth sticking out of his face like literal sabers. The artist, who has never seen anything bigger than a cow, picks up his quill. He isn't trying to trace reality, he's trying to build it from scratch. Softly, almost whispering, "Honestly, friends, if someone described something you'd never seen before, would you do any better?" Speeding up, excited, we have Google for everything now, from the structure of an atom to the surface of Pluto. But back then, slowly, with gravity, your imagination was the only tool you had. And you know what? Playful lilt. They added something to the elephant it was missing. They gave it character. Energy increases. Look at this battle scene. Here, elephants are basically medieval tanks. Punchy, bold tone. They're decked out in armor, carrying wooden towers on their backs, with archers firing arrows. Artists drew what they understood. If an elephant is a terrifying war machine, then it has to look like a war horse, just 5 times bigger and covered in steel plate. Soft sigh of wonder. And this version, the one hanging out with a dragon, that's my favorite. In the medieval mind, the world was packed with wonders. If there's an elephant in the far-off lands, then surely there must also be dragons and people with dog heads. This wasn't a scientific textbook, it was a map of miracles. Though we should give them some credit, they nailed the 3 most important features: the trunk, the massive ears, and the tusks. In 90% of these drawings, those 3 details were the only things that signaled this is an elephant, even if the legs looked like horse hooves and the body looked like a spotted dog. Slowing down, serious tone. You might say, well, these are just funny pictures, they didn't know biology. But think about this. Emphasis. These people weren't stupid. They just lived in a world where belief in the impossible was far more important than anatomical accuracy. Every one of these drawings was an attempt by humanity to connect the dots. Awestruck, it was an attempt to fit something that defied their reality into their own minds. Sharp, sudden question. And now a question for you. We live in an age where information is available in a split second, but don't you think we're still like those medieval artists, drawing over reality? Skeptical, reflective. We invent stories about people we've never met and events we see only through the distorted lens of social media's version of telephone. Warm, concluding tone. So, these strange mutant elephants aren't just errors from the past. Inhaling deeply, they're a mirror of our own human nature. We will always try to fill in the blanks of what we don't understand. Which one of these medieval elephants is your favorite? Mine is definitely the spotted one that looks like a clumsy dog-elephant hybrid. Inviting, drop a comment below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe. Next time, we'll uncover what other monsters our ancestors dreamed up while trying to make sense of the world. Soft exhale. See you then.